Hey, what is going on, guys? RvzStealth here, and in today's video we're going to be breaking down everything you need to know to get some free low on Annie support, who's actually a really great support pick now after the changes to her E in this patch. If you're unaware and didn't read the patch notes, her E is now a shield that can also be placed on allies, so it makes her so much better in the support role now. She's hovering around a 50% win rate at the moment, and this will just continue to climb as more people play her properly, which is what this video will allow you to do. So with that being said, let's get right into it. So for how you should be looking to play the pick early on in the laning phase, you want to start the Relic Shield and just stack your Q up, or stack your stun up I should say, on minions by queuing minions to get the Relic Shield proc. Once you get that stun ready, you just have insane zones, so you just walk up to the enemy AD carry, queue them, and you just rinse and repeat that. So get bush control early on like the Annie's doing here, and if you just, having the point and click ability from Annie's Q just gives her insanely good zone. You also have like really long range from your auto attacks, right? Annie's got one of the longest auto attack ranges in the game, so it just allows for you to poke the enemy AD carry out a lot. If you get the level 2 before them, right, just zone them exactly like this Annie is doing right here. You have a lot of early game kill threat with the pick. So you notice here Caitlyn walks up, Q into a Jhin trap, free first blood. So that's how you should be looking to play Annie throughout the early game. Level 6 for Annie, she's got some of the best all-in threat for any champion in the game, so as you can see there, just completely deletes the Lux. Once you hit level 6, ready your stun, have your ultimate up. You can even look for like flash ult plays, but just be aggressive at that level 6 and you're gonna find yourself getting so many kills every single game. Now your roam threat on Annie is some of the best for any support in the game because you've got a point and click range stun, right? So if you rush Moby boots, which you want to do on the Annie support, just look for roam opportunities whenever you're coming off of a reset or whenever you kill the enemy bot, have the lane shoved. Just look to be active around the map because running into the enemy with your Moby boots, with your stun ready, it's gonna be a free stun every single time. And if your teammate has some sort of decent follow-up for you, you're gonna find yourself picking up a ton of kills on roam. So make sure you are being proactive with your roams on the champion throughout the early game. And then as you hit the mid to late game, you should just constantly be looking for these opportunities to hard engage with the pick, especially once you grab your Shurelya's. Your engage is insanely good. If you got your flash available, you have your stun ready, you'll look for those flash stun Tibbers plays. If a squishy target is caught out of position, or if you see the enemy team all grouped up as 5, just play around vision, control vision around objectives. Annie's one of the best champions at playing from the fog of war and just picking targets out as they walk into her. So look to control vision, have the enemy team face check into you, find picks, and you're gonna have a lot of success with this champion in the mid to late game. So now if we move on to breaking down the complete setup you should be running on the champion, first for your starting item, it's either going to be the Relic Shield or the Spell Thieves. Relic is a little bit more consistent on Annie though, and it does perform a bit better at the moment just because you have the ability to stack up your passive faster with the Relic Shield. If you queue low health minions, you get the Relic proc, and you also half the cooldown of your Q, so it just allows for you to get your passive stacking a lot quicker early on in the laning phase so that you do have more kill threat, more poke potential early on. For the boots there, like I touched on earlier, Moby boots, you don't really want to swap anything else out for them. Your roaming potential once you grab Mobies is so strong on the pick, so you should be going for Mobies very early on in all of your Annie games. And then for core items on the pick, it's going to be the Athenes, the Shurelya's, Redemption, and Ardent. However, the order in which you build these items can really depend on the game and depend on the situation. The Athenes Rush there is going to be the best first item in most of your games. However, if the enemy team doesn't have a lot of magic damage, and if your team does have a lot of auto attack based champions, going for just a straight up Ardent Rush instead of the Athenes there can be very worthwhile for you. But if the enemy team does have a lot of magic damage, if you don't have a ton of auto attack based champions on your team, Athene's Rush is great. The Shurelya's there is a really good second or third item on the pick because it just really adds to her engage. Redemption there as a third or fourth item is going to be great for her. So pretty much every game you'd want to be going for Athenes, the Shurelya's, Redemption, and Ardent, but just the order in which you go for them can really change depending on the situation. Looking at the different rune pages you can run on the pick, right now Summon Aerie and Guardian are both performing very well, and it kind of does depend on the situation as to when you'd want to go for each page. So if you just want a cookie cutter page you can run for every single game, you can't really go wrong with taking the Summon Aerie there. It's great on Annie because your long range auto attacks allow for you to get a lot of extra damage off in the laning phase. If you take that Aerie, you're going to be autoing a ton, so it's just a great rune on her. The Guardian though, it's going to be good for you in matchups to where the enemy does have really hard engage. So if they're playing something like a Leona Lucian lane, a Leona Misfortune, and they're just going to be looking to engage onto you, constantly try to jump onto you, taking the Guardian there to give yourself some more survivability and also running like the bone plating is going to be really nice for you early on. So I'd say most of your matchup you would want to lean towards the Aerie, but if you're in a more difficult lane, definitely consider taking the Guardian. And then for the ability maxing on your support Annie, it's going to be the complete opposite as to what you do on mid lane Annie. So you actually want to be maxing your E out first, W second, and then Q last. Really important you do max your E out first because it puts the spell on a much shorter cooldown, and you also increase the shielding by quite a large margin. So it just allows for you to provide your team with a lot more utility there in the mid game. Now the abilities you take throughout the first couple levels, it's going to be Q at level 1. Really key there, you take this ability just to have some good zone control at the level 1, to have some really good poke there. Take the W at level 2 and then the E at level 3. Now let's talk a little bit about Annie's best synergies. Who are the best AD carries you can look to pair up with her? Right now Misfortune, Ashe, and Jhin are all top tier just because they have the ability to follow up on Annie's engage better than any other AD carries in the game. Misfortune ultimate comboed with Annie's stun Tibbers at the level 6 is a guaranteed double kill every single time. The Ashe arrow into the Annie stun Tibbers is also insanely good lockdown, and then we already saw how strong Jhin was paired up with Annie from the first clip we took a look at the start of the video. Annie just pokes the enemy out at level 1. Once she has her stun ready at the level 2, Annie stun into the Jhin root is a guaranteed kill at the level 2 there every single game. So any of these 3 AD carries are great with the champion. And then lastly here, if we just finish off by talking a little bit about Annie's worst matchups at the moment, who should you be looking to ban out when playing the champion? Morgana, Janna, and Leona are 3 picks that can do very well into her. Leona because she's just got really good lockdown, really good hard engage. Annie's spells aren't the longest of range, so in order for her to walk up and in order for her to, poke the enemy AD carry or poke the Leona, she needs to get in Leona E range, and if she gets caught out by that, especially at the level 6, it's so easy for her to just get bursted out and just get one shot right away. So Leona's a good ban to consider. Morgana there, always an annoying champion to play against whenever you're playing a hard engage pick, just does a great job at shutting you down with her black shield, so that's another good option. And then for the Janna, just her disengage, her shield makes it more difficult for you to one shot her. Just shield, using that on her AD carry whenever you look for poke also limits your ability to chunk the enemy AD carry out during the laning phase. So these 3 champions would be the ones I'd consider banning the most if you are playing Annie support. Alright, so that is going to be all for the video, guys. Hopefully this does give you a pretty good understanding of how you should be looking to play the Annie support, so that if you do decide to pick her up here for the end of season 10, or if you just want to add her to your champion pool, you can start having a lot of success with her right away. So with that being said, if you guys enjoyed the video, be sure to drop a like and subscribe if you have yet to already. So thanks for watching, have an awesome day, and I will see you in my next video.